so long is like alchemy.
Finally, possibly the most intriguing matchup of the season. Friday night in Phoenix, no Devin Booker. Eli Okobobo. Josh Jackson, the Bay Area product. Mikal Bridges, the rookie. Dragon, I'm out of the league. Bender soon. And the number one pick, DeAndre Ayton. Steph, the boys, would they have the Scottsdale flu on this Friday night down in Phoenix, especially with their lone star sitting out, who Devin Booker, he's had hamstring issues all season. They might want to just shut him down, but the Suns very incompetent in that area. Game started off about as sloppy as Liam Neeson's press run this past week. I'm trying to be relevant. But the Warriors were throwing the ball all over the court. I do want to credit these young Suns, Josh Jackson, Kelly Oubre. They've made some new acquisitions. Tyler Johnson from the Heat at the deadline, as you see KD coast to coast here. They were scrappy as hell. So, the Warriors weren't exactly turned up, but Phoenix played hard, and it showed early on as they got out to a good start. Jackson, the corner three ball. The story early on had to be the number one pick, DeAndre Ayton. He was giving Boogie problems on both ends of the floor, more home run hitting backdoor cuts, and Ayton steps in. But I think offensively, he's benefiting from Booker being out because he's getting more touches, but they're not really running a whole lot for him. But his combination of size, fluidity, and athleticism was on display early in this game. And then DeMarcus, we've seen a couple big dunks, but the common factor in both of those were the two-footed plant. When he goes off the left ankle, or Achilles, I should say, I don't know if it could be mental, it could be physical, it could be a bit of both, but he doesn't finish confidently off 1 foot yet. There's the filler in at point guard. I'm assuming Tyler Johnson will eventually take that spot once he's acclimated in the offense. Now, Steph can make that shot. Is it a good shot? Not really, right? And like I said, Ayton time, just showing the physical attributes. Good, quick second jump. He's a little too finesse, but he's 19 years old. He's going to get stronger. You see the frame. You just don't see a frame like that very often. Kind of like a young David Robinson getting fed the ball here with no Booker chuckage. Josh Jackson over the top. He's got good hands, right? So he dominated early. Look at the score. Out in transition, it's the Villanova product, Mikal Bridges, the corner three ball. He was advertised as a 3-and-D guy. The three ball hasn't really been there yet. So trying to generate some offense. Look at Steph's elevation on that shot. I'm looking at his shot and why he's off. He seems to be jumping a little higher on his moving shots on the perimeter. There's Draymond playing low to the floor. And they were complaining. They were letting him play early on. It was very physical. There was not very many calls, and then they call a flop. So it was kind of ironic, but that led to several technicals as this game went on from our champs. As the game went on, they went away from their young 7-footer, which was a huge mistake. But that right there was probably his most impressive move of the night. Just a quick turnaround over the right shoulder, very young LaMarcus Aldridge-like. Clay was the only Warrior that seemed to be in rhythm early on, and he bailed us out with some threes here. First quarter, you can see 12 points on the board with under 3 minutes. Jerebko gets in there, and KD gets his pocket picked. Kelly Oubre Jr., another acquisition. Remember, he was the prize in the Ariza deal earlier on this season. Had himself a night. The tomahawk after the rip. KD knocked a three ball down, and like I said, look, 16 points with 2 minutes left in the quarter. KD kind of sensing we needed some offense, went to ISO ball, and I know how controversial that is and critical we can be of that, but this was a game where we needed it. To end this first quarter, we needed KD to kind of just get in his ISO bag and put his head down and get to the cup, got to the line, and you can see closed the lead pretty quickly here, and then Iguodala doesn't really need rhythm, right? Or it's just a weird one, knocks the three down, and just like that, Dub's back in the game. Second quarter, after kind of getting his lunch eaten by his fellow Puma teammate in DeAndre Ayton. Boogie, one thing I like about him is his competitive nature. Like, I could do without some of the whining and stuff, but when someone's going at him and he's kind of getting it handed to him, he tends to rise to the occasion. He's very competitive, much like Draymond, coast to coast and one English off the backboard. How about 4 turnovers for each of the starting front court players? 18 turnovers in this game. Watch Steph head down the court here. Did Oubre kind of flat tire him there? I don't know, man. I just don't like that trend, but it happens again. And then this is a good barometer. When Livingston gets upset and starts talking to the refs, yeah, they're probably being pretty inconsistent. I thought, S-Dot was about to throw another headbutt, but he comes over and calmly pleads his case. Draymond, Boogie, take note of the calm, mature veteran. Very next possession, DeMarcus is going to take an elbow from Oubre on the way down right there. He doesn't like that, right? And then he's going to get hit for the touch foul as he's still sulking about the lack of a call. And so he goes over to the bench and has himself some tea as well. Meanwhile, Clay is like, nah, I do what I want. Now I do what I want. The patience, the step back, the three. Another guy just trying to make it in the league, looking like someone's badass little kid, Rashawn Holmes. Started his career in Philly, but look at the effort here from Oubre. The Suns were probably playing twice as hard as the Warriors. I almost, maybe it's because I'm out here, I got a little soft spot for them, but you almost felt bad for them. Like they really thought like they could win. The hustle, offensive rebound, Tyler Johnson looking like riffraff after his first basket in a Suns uni. Jerebko got in there and got a couple more minutes than we had seen of late, I think partly because of DeMarcus's foul trouble. But look at Looney just get beat down the court. I would like to see a little more energy from Looney in these games where the stars aren't playing hard. But, you know, Looney's going to follow suit. I don't really blame him. Again, figure it out. They've got super long arms. They're being over-aggressive. Those backdoor cuts, they weren't there all night long, yet we kept trying to force them. And then Draymond with the old vet move trips Oubre. You say, oh, no, that's a clean play. He was reaching for the ball. Take another look at it. This is an OG move here. He plants the foot, lets dude fall on his face. And this is probably where their little interactions began. But they're both chippy guys. But watch this. This is a vet move. This is a blatant trip from Draymond. Plant. You see how the foot was really the main focus of what he was doing there. But hey, that's one way to make sure he doesn't get the and one. And like I said, the Suns' effort was twofold, but they don't have the shooting or talent, around to really compete. And that's part of why we got what we got from the Warriors. You see them out in transition trying to fire three balls. Iguodala pushing, Clay splashing. But for real, besides the little outburst to end the first quarter, it felt like KD didn't even play. How about 21 points on 11 shots? Oubre Jr. is a nice player, and part of the reason Washington traded him was they knew they couldn't afford him, and he's increasing his value with all these garbage time opportunity minutes here in Phoenix, so it'll be interesting to see if Phoenix throws him the bag. Steph finally knocks a three ball down under 2 minutes to go in the half. They decided to perk up a little bit and close the half strongly. There's a beautiful bounce pass going, 80 on the freeway. And then this is a thing you're taught in youth basketball. Challenge the shot and keep running, right? That's how you cherry pick and get the outlet. But I like what Draymond did here. He did this several times in the game. I'm holding it. You see how he's finishing stretched and low to the ground? That's for him, right? He shouldn't try to elevate at the rim. That's when you get roofed and he doesn't finish well. So I like that new style of low to the ground, kind of like a European finish for Draymond. Watch Steph double clutch this look here in the corner. And that lets you know Phoenix is playing good defense. Because when you got Steph, when you got the greatest shooter in the world, second guessing, releasing his shot, or at least checking where you're at, it lets you know that they've got you thinking a little bit heading into the half. With a 7-point lead, they probably didn't deserve. Durant tweaks the ankle. I feel like he does it every other game. Not even going to say why, but thank God he has what seemed to be elastic dexterity in those ankles. So he's up and continued to play per usual. Ayton, they got to just keep going to this. I'm just frustrated for the Suns. You see that potential. He needs 20 touches a night, right? There's the outlet pass, and Bender damn near loses his life trying to catch the wide open lob. Looks like his wrists were taped up. I don't know if that was a wise business decision there, but hey, the kid's fighting to stay in the league, the 4th pick in the draft. Boogie, one of his 4 turnovers, very predictable. Josh Jackson, don't write him off. I'm telling y'all right now, he's too competitive, too athletic. I like him to go along with Oubre. Those are two feisty wing players for the Suns to build upon. There's the seal. Ayton showing the hands. He finished with 23 and 10. I know I'm showing a lot of Suns highlights, but frankly, the Suns played a better basketball game, and there's an example of Jackson just slowing down a little bit. He's a little sped up. When the game slows down, his athleticism and competitiveness will pop. DeMarcus, this is a good sight. Feels like we haven't seen him drop one since his debut against the Clippers. And look, man, the Warriors are playing well, but this is what tends to happen headed into the All-Star break. They lose focus. They want to get to the All-Star break and through the All-Star break. And it's been better than in years past. Ayton here, he's got a big boy Durant. He's got at least 25 pounds on him. He bails him out with the face-up jumper. But all things considered, and the pacing and kind of dogging it into the break, the Warriors, it's been better than years previous, right? There's some slop, 18 turnovers, like I said. And actually, out of all of them, I think this one pissed me off the most. KYP, Steph Curry. Why are you throwing an outlet pass ahead to Looney where he has to put the ball down on the floor and make a play? I'm just saying, though. More Josh Jackson. How about 19, 8, and 5 while orchestrating most of the offense? And then he's going to give you 100% energy on the defensive end. So if they trade him, it's going to be a mistake. I know he's had some ups and some downs. Steph, triple threat, it's wet. But you see the score, it's a back and forth game here, kind of just lingering around. They never felt threatened. Jerebko all the way to the rim. I think it's important to keep him integrated and his legs bouncy, you know, in case we need him, because Boogie, you know, Boogie's Boogie. Oubre, offensive rebound. Look at this, though. Yank. Now, if you watch it again, the dude was doing a weird celebration. I don't think he was throwing a headbutt at Draymond, but Draymond takes it this way, headed into the fourth. Draymond's talking shit. Yeah, I mean, it's subjective. Maybe you guys think that, but take a look at it again. I think he's doing some sort of weird dab celebration, and it just kind of ends up with Draymond there, but I don't know. Either way, Draymond ain't having it. I understand it. He goes 94 feet to talk about it and picks up his second tee of the night. And you get what Draymond's problem is. It's if Draymond did it, he would have been teed up immediately. But such is life, Draymond. You are not treated fairly. You have a reputation that precedes itself, and that's what it is. So starting the fourth, you see Boogie kind of get real physical and up in his space. And like I said, the kid, he doesn't use his strength yet. He's not physical enough. It's all finesse at this point. And Boogie takes advantage here. He's going to put him in the blender. But watch, he stands him up, doesn't go nowhere. So you see the strength, but he just doesn't use it. And one. We got some good minutes out of DeMarcus here to start this fourth quarter with the second unit. This time, it's Ayton's gravity pulling DeMarcus. He didn't want to give up that lob. And here's my point. You throw ahead to Boogie here, and it's just different than Looney. We know he's had trouble finishing at the rim, but his hands and his feet are much more adept at finishing on the break than one Looney. Clay says, sit down. So you see things getting sloppy here with the second units to start the fourth, and DeMarcus ends up with the dunk anyway. Back comes Steph, and he's like, all right, guys. You guys want to play a little? Let's play a little. Let's play a little bit. Another dunk. And the Suns are like, here we go again. The inevitable is about to happen. Dribble handoff into the three ball. And what you have to fight when you're a team like the Suns with these young guys is they can't get comfortable losing. 82 games, it becomes a thing where they're just all right losing, and that's what you have to fight off. You can't expect to beat the champs, though. And then this was cool footage here I didn't expect from the Suns telecast. During the timeout, DeMarcus breaks the coach's huddle and pleads to stay in the game. He knows Draymond's out, and Kerr and the staff, what are they going to do? Tell him no? So Boogie stays out there later in the game. Watch this. I thought this was funny. So Tyler Johnson clips Steph here. He's like, my bad, Steph. Oh, you're not looking? My bad. Steph turns around. Hey, he wants to say my bad again, right? Oh, you're not looking at me? So Tyler Johnson, a true Steph Curry fan, could not get his acknowledgement. But what he could get was D's threes. Look at the little rub back pedal screen. No communication, put him away. Despite the game being very underwhelming and sloppy, I think the positive was Steph with the knockout punch. You know, he just kind of like low-key decided to start playing. Clay, fresh off the bench, woke up like this. He was ultra efficient. But I'd say Steph with the little barrage here to put him away has got to help his lack of shooting the last week or so. And then Boogie Cousins extending his minutes. Didn't have a great game, but just continuing to get healthier, right? All of a sudden you look up and it looks like the game wasn't even close. Oh, the lies. Now, those of you that were expecting me to do a live pregame, what I realized, you see this is the Suns telecast. And what I want to do is I want to do it when I get the Bay Area local telecast. That way, the majority of you can sync up with me. We'll pause the screen and then start at the same time. And so I've circled the Utah game Tuesday night. I'm going to go ahead and give it a go and try to just do a live commentary throughout the game. Hopefully it's a good competitive one. Utah usually plays this tough. We got Miami Sunday. I'm out, y'all.
I've been winning so long, it's like